All too often, some interpret the phrase, "they can sense your fear" as something telepathic, some additional non-human sense or something that is not understood. That, of course, is not it at all. Animals sense fear in others by just using various combinations of the five senses that we are all already familiar with. Most everyone knows that the majority of vertebrates have at least one sense, if not more, that is more developed and stronger than what humans possess. The nose of a bloodhound, the eyes of an eagle, the ears of an owl, etc. Our sense of taste ranks about average, and our sense of touch is better than most. In any case, it shouldn't be surprising that animals can use those heightened senses to sense fear in other animals. No sixth sense is required. Actually, only various combinations of three are required: smell, sight, and hearing. I think we can all agree that if it gets down to an animal tasting your fear or touching your fear, it's already too late for you, or the prey in question, in any case. That's not to say that there are not more than our five senses. Take the sense of navigation in animals like pigeons and other birds. We don't have that. There's the sense of echolocation found in certain bats and whales. We don't have that either. Nor the sense related to electroreception in sharks and other fish. There are several others scattered about the animal kingdom. Having said all that, the most brave, fearless, aggressive bunny in the world is still going to feel the jaws of that fox or coyote crush his body if the predator gets close enough. The fearless dodo bird was still regularly scooped up by sailors and other predators, that being one of the few higher animals who never developed the fight or flight response. The ability to either sense fear or project fear plays a large part in the predator-prey relationship. For a human, not projecting fear won't necessarily save you from being jumped by that cougar, nor being trampled by that bull elephant, but it might increase your chances of surviving. On the other hand, projecting fear in those situations will almost certainly decrease your chances of surviving. Your adversary in situations like that will surely be using its basic senses, sight, smell, and hearing, to determine its next course of action in regards to you. The other animals are not the only ones who can and do sense fear. Humans do it as well. Granted, our level of fear sensing is not as acute as most other vertebrates, but we still have the ability. Bullies use it, car salesmen use it, debt collectors use it, con men and scam artists use it, athletes use it, diplomats use it, and of course various types of warriors use it. There's a related term here: never let them see you sweat. That, if applied both figuratively and literally, is what it's all about. In the end, it's not particularly difficult to understand how animals, including us, can sense fear. Actually, it is beneficial that you understand it, that you understand how fear is both projected and how it is sensed. It can help you to keep from getting bullied, from getting taken advantage of, and indeed, there are times when it can help you to survive. Part of it is instinctual, and part of it is learned. A good part of it is skill. You'd be well served to learn this skill well, both sensing it and controlling the projecting of it. Yet to learn it best, you must understand it. To understand it best, I would suggest that you change the phrase from sensing fear to reading fear. It's not only the wild animals. Most all animals are capable of it, including you. Do pets enjoy dressing up? Each Halloween, social media becomes congested with pictures of people's furry companions decked out in capes, caps, wings, and other Halloween flair. A Labradoodle is adorable to begin with. Put him in a bee costume and people melt. But look closely at some of these photos. In the pet's eyes, you might see a note of humiliation or sadness. Like the court jester, they've been made to be comic relief. Shame seems to envelop them like a dark cloud. It's as if a dog knows his dignity is circling the drain. In forcing your cat to wear a bunny costume, are we depriving our pets of a basic right to decency? What if they're just doing it for us? That's one possibility, says Alexandra Horowitz, PhD, a senior research fellow and adjunct associate professor at Barnard College and author of Inside of a Dog: What Dogs See, Smell and Know. We are a society that asks dogs to stay frozen while we balance a dog treat on their nose. It pays off for them because we eventually give them the treat, the attention, the love. Dogs certainly have learned to endure small discomforts for our pleasure. Rather than be happy about having an alter ego, say a hot dog, pets might instead be thinking their human handlers are scolding them, Horowitz says. That's because domesticated dogs have wolf-like ancestors. Their cousins, wolves, are prone to covering a subservient wolf's body with their own as a form of reprimand. In covering a dog's body with a costume, a dog might have a genetic disposition to feel like they're being corrected. That's why some might simply freeze in place or otherwise act sullen. If they duck to get away, keep their tail low or ears back, or generally keep their body tight and low, that's submissive appeasement behavior, Horowitz says. Even if you feel like you're not causing your dog emotional damage, costumes should still be evaluated for possible physical dangers. No puppy duds should obscure their eyes or face or fit too snugly around their chest. It can restrict breathing. They should be visible in low-light conditions, either for trick-or-treating or in case they dash out of the house. Some vets have reported having to surgically remove small accessories or objects that were dislodged from costumes and swallowed, so it's good to make sure nothing on the outfit is removable. If your dog exhibits signs of duress, pawing, itching, cowering, pinned ears, tucked tail, then you should reconsider their participation in the festivities. If you want to test their temperament before buying a costume, try putting them in a t-shirt. If they look unhappy, spare them the additional stress of dressing them up like a taco. As for cats, I would not do this, Horowitz says. Cats don't suffer our ridiculousness. What's the difference between venom and poison? Hemlock is poisonous, but rattlesnakes are venomous. Both terms refer to toxic chemicals, so what's the difference between poison and venom? The difference is entirely in how the species uses its defense mechanism. If it's injected via a snake's bite or a bee's sting or the spiny protrusions on a frog's head, it's a venom. If it's secreted through the skin, as in the case of poison dart frogs or a few species of birds, it's a poison. Poisons work their deadly magic through touch, ingestion, or inhalation, while venoms are injected directly into a wound. If you have to choose between being bit by a venomous snake or touching a poisonous frog, you might want to go with the snake. As it turns out, snakes don't always inject venom when they bite. Some 20% or more of bites from venomous snakes are dry bites that create a wound but don't include venom. Poisonous animals can't choose when to apply their toxins. Why do cats love scratching furniture? Allergy suffering aside, cat ownership has proven health benefits. A feline friend can aid in the grieving process, reduce anxiety, and offer companionship. The con in the cat column? They have no reservations about turning your furniture into shredded pleather. No matter how expensive your living room set, these furry troublemakers will treat it with the respect accorded to a college futon. Do cats do this out of some kind of spite? Are they conspiring with Raymore and Flanagan to get you to keep updating home decor? According to cat behaviorists, cats gravitate towards scratching furniture mostly because that love seat is in a really conspicuous area. As a result, cats want to send a message to any other animal that may happen by, namely, that this plush seating belongs to the cat who marked it. Scratching provides both visual evidence, like claw marks, as well as a scent marker. Cat paws have scent glands that can leave smells that are detectable to other cats and animals. But it's not just territorial cats also scratch to remove sloughed-off nail tips, allowing fresh nail growth to occur. And they can work out their knotted back muscles, cramped from sleeping 16 hours a day, no doubt, by kneading the soft foam of a sectional. If you want to dissuade your cat from such behavior, purchasing a scratching post is a good start. Make sure it's non-carpeted. Their nails can get caught on the fibers, and tall enough to allow for a good stretch. Most importantly, put it near furniture so cats can mark their hangout in high-traffic areas. A good post might be a little more expensive, but will likely result in fewer trips to Ethan Allen. If you haven't been to a farm with fainting goats, you might have witnessed their signature move online. When startled, the farm animals will seize up and topple over, sticking their limbs straight out like cartoon corpses. Some people think the apparent overdramatic behavior is hilarious, as evidenced by countless viral videos. But once you learn the real reason for the response, it doesn't seem so cute. Fainting goats are a small domestic goat breed native to North America. Technically called myotonic goats, they don't really faint at all. Fainting involves losing consciousness briefly due to lack of oxygen in the brain. When a myotonic goat falls over, it's because of problems with their muscles, not their brain, and they remain completely conscious for the whole episode. Myotonic goats suffer from a condition called myotonia congenita, which causes their muscles to stiffen involuntarily and stay that way for brief periods. Regular goats, along with most animals, respond one of two ways when confronted with a perceived threat: fight or flight. What this looks like in the body is a sudden tensing of the skeleton muscles, the brain's cue to get ready to move, followed by an immediate relaxing of the muscles, allowing the body to either rush forward or flee the scene. When a fainting goat's body tenses up in fear, it has a much harder time getting back to normal. The goat's muscles continue to contract for about 10 to 20 seconds after it's startled, which is where the fainting part of its name comes in. You can imagine if you're stiff, you're gonna fall over. Susan Shonian, a goat specialist at the University of Maryland's Western Maryland Research and Education Center, tells Mental Floss. And that's where the name comes from. There's a reason you don't see this type of defect too often in nature. Falling to the ground at times when you're most vulnerable isn't exactly a desirable trait to have, and in the wild, natural selection would have quickly removed the condition from the gene pool. But when these goats first appeared in Tennessee in the 1880s, breeders had an incentive to keep them the way they were. Myotonia congenita is associated with dense, meaty muscles, and as a result, myotonic goats have one of the highest meat-to-bone ratios of any goat breed. In the 21st century, fainting goats have gained popularity as quirky, internet-friendly pets. Sneaking up on them has become a pastime among some goat owners, but don't feel too bad next time a fainting goat compilation pops up in your feed. The reaction isn't supposed to be harmful or painful for goats. It's likely just annoying.